What up YouTube? It's Profit414 back with another video. I haven't dropped a video in a minute, but I see that a lot of people like sitting talking videos like this, so I'm back with another one after a good minute. So I wanted to do a video about how you can literally change your life in a matter of like 2 years or any time frame that would be necessary for you. I want to share like personal experiences that I feel help me, like standard things that you can do to change your life, steps you can take right now to move forward in the future is what I want this video to be. So like, subscribe, turn on the dumb notifications because you know YouTube, and I'm not gonna waste no more time because it's gonna be really long. I'm gonna try to cut out a lot of the talking and just get straight to the point. So as a lot of people know, I've been dating Ashley for like 4 years now, and she's my fiance. See, right there, it's Ashley. But anyway, dating her for 4 years. In like the first couple of months of us dating, we knew we wanted a house and wanted to move in together, right? So we went from there and got a plan. By March 2016, we moved in to an apartment together for the first time in Brown Deer. And at that time, Ashley was working full time and I had like just started UPS. So we were both working pretty standard, you could almost say 9 to 5 type jobs. It didn't really click until around middle to end of 2016 toward 2017 that we wanted to decide that, okay, it's time to make a change in our lives to make this easier. So just like we did the first time when we wanted to move out on our own and get an apartment, we made a plan. We decided that, okay, if we're gonna make a change, we need to start with our environment. Our environment was holding us back. The little cubicle space we had was terrible. Like literally it was like 500 feet. You see here. Anyway, we had to get out of that space, so we started to brainstorm on apartments we could find. Once we did that, we started to look at how we could reduce the stress in our lives, which was obviously work. So Ashley decided to go for her own natural talents and pursue Ashley Crazy Yoga. Now she's turned it into a business, but we'll get to all of that later. But at the time, it was a very it was like a very hazy, fuzzy type of move to make. So she did that, and I knew that with staying at UPS, I could literally just increase my wage by working there, so that was fine. We did have to use my mother's help, which is not a bad thing. I encourage, if you have the family, to definitely use that. Like, it can be an olive branch that you definitely might not think you need, but it'll be always there for you, you know. But anyway, we had my mom help us find a new location because she was trying to move at the time we were trying to move. And she gave us an idea for these lofts. We talked to these lofts, they weren't working, but it was just a step to get to the other lofts that were literally down the street, better looking, more affordable, and worked for us. So in the end, we got the plan straight, we got the hours straight, we already had a car. That's a past video. You should check out the first car tour and the second car tour because we got 2 now. Anyway, we had a car, so that wouldn't be a problem with transportation. It wasn't a difference. And then we made the move. It was easy after we already had made the plan and just waited the remainder of the year. And in that whole time we waited, we never wanted to stop creating and didn't stop creating content. We never wanted to stop. We always thought of how to do it, and we wanted to grow, and we needed to plant the seeds to grow. So in order to do that, we saved up the money that we made and bought a camera. At the time, I think it was some purple camera. It may have been a Canon, or I can't really remember the name of the camera. It'll be a picture here when I edit this. But so it was a camera that we had invested in and was good at the time. So we used that for most of the vlogs you'll see on mine or Ashley's old YouTube videos on our channels. Subscribe to those, by the way. But we had a lot of those that we did, and they were working for a good while. But we knew to grow our audience and to grow the content, we needed better equipment. And to do that, we needed to take a sacrifice at some points and invest in our craft. You can do anything you want as long as you invest in your craft. It's your own natural talent. You can do it. Like right around the time we were planning to move, things in social circles got very weird and not what I would expect to happen in my later years of adulthood, or my early years of adulthood, I should say. But it was like a situation that I had to think to myself, well, this can either hinder me or it can either grow me. And I decided to let it grow me, because a lot of people think that the people that they have with them their whole life is the people they're supposed to keep their whole life. And unfortunately, that's not how it always goes. It's a hard decision, a hard wall to climb over, but I knew what I wanted in my life and what was good for me. So that's exactly what I went out and pursued to do. And I got the results that I wanted exactly, if not better than what I ever would have hoped for. Once that situation was happening, we started to move. And as we started to move, Ashley started to bring up the idea more and more of quitting her job at Home Depot. And I thought it was a good idea. She thought it was, she thought it was a good idea, but needed more support from me, because it was, it was what she was known and what, sustained her and sustained us and gave us money. But I knew, and I did everything in my power to get her to believe in herself, to know that she doesn't need that job. And eventually hours got less and less. She started to do more with her yoga. We put in more money to her yoga to invest in that so she could go on more trainings. I went with her on these trainings. We have multiple vlogs of all of these trainings and retreats that she's been on. Some I attended, some I didn't attend. But point being, eventually in a couple of months into the lease of our brand new apartment, this time South Side downtown, she literally could basically quit her job at this point. She was barely working there and decided to quit and do yoga, her dream and passion, full time. And now she makes double what she would ever expect to make in 2 weeks working a 9-to-5 job. And she literally did it by only believing in herself and taking the time to make a plan and invest in her own God-given talent. A lot of the times in life too, your blessings can be disguised as messes. A lot of things in life can seem messy. A lot of things in life can seem like they're not supposed to be going the way they are. But if you literally know that you are doing what you know you should be doing, then you should trust God's plan, because it's all tailor-made to fit you and you exactly. I can't stop to think about the time I was sitting in an apartment. Ashley had to take a night class that she didn't want to take because her schedule wasn't fully what she wanted now, but she had to take a class at night. And when she took that class, unfortunately, she was in an accident. And in that accident, she was not injured in any way, shape, or form whatsoever, which was a blessing in itself. After that, the car was completely damaged and we had no transportation. All we could rely on was my grandmother's car, because I can't drive stick yet, but I learned though. Anyway, couldn't drive stick, only had my grandmother's car, which was still a hassle because everyone needs their own things. So this was another wall that we had to face, since we already had numerous payments for work and maintenance on that car already. At the time being, we thought, like anyone else would think, that it's just another way life wanted to knock us down. But in the end, we still didn't give up. We still knew what we had to do and still worked around it, and knew that we could make a better life and strive for what we knew we could get. And just use the resources that were there. We used the money we had saved. We used our mother. We used the knowledge of just researching. We used the knowledge of, well, we already had like 2 years of good credit, bills, and renter history. And we applied for a car and got it. Literally right as the new year happened of 2019, we got a new car. Something that I never thought of, Ashley never thought of. Getting a brand new car the same year, like it just didn't make sense. It was so crazy, and it's still crazy every time I get behind the wheel of it. It just doesn't make sense to me. And once that happened and we sat down and talked about the expenses of the difference, it was more to take on, but it was nothing that we couldn't handle, because we had already prepared for this 2 years ago when we were at Brown Deer, when we made the plan to move here in the first place, to make our income able to sustain something like this, forgive me. But we did that, and it seemed like we were just on top. We had nothing else to worry about, but there was still something to worry about. Something that every creator that's probably gonna watch this video worries about. Expanding their talent and getting the world to sit down and recognize what they can do. We needed a new camera. We needed a brand new computer. We needed a lot of equipment just to make good content. We needed $100 programs that we couldn't even fathom to drop that much money on at the flip of a hat like that. We still knew that if we did the same process of keeping faith, making a plan, and sticking to the plan, and being responsible and dependable as a team, that it would go and fall into place as everything else in our lives. And we did. I mean, we priced Macs, we saved up for Macs, we used our taxes and set it to the side because we knew we would want to invest hardcore in our craft. Before we even got the Mac, we knew we wanted to invest, so we had to do the same thing and get a new camera, that the one I'm recording this video on now, save money and sacrifice things for the bigger cause, the bigger image, the bigger message that we try to get across to you every day when we upload and make videos. We planned it with my mother. We ran a payment type plan because she needed to handle some of the difference on the Mac, but that was totally fine to her. We both went there, all pulled our money together, and we bought a brand new Mac, like literally the same day almost that we planned this, or 2 to 3 days after we made this plan. We have it sitting right here, and we have programs that just we were blessed with because life just happened to work out in that favor. In the end, if you just keep the vision and really honestly believe in yourself, not fake believe and just keep saying, nah, I'll do it tomorrow. Nah, my craft is tomorrow. If your craft is something you want 1 million people to see and spend millions of dollars for, your craft should be just as important to do it right now. Because if you don't do it, someone else will try to do it, and that could be your craft. It's all about believing in yourself and what you can do. It's the one way that I found out that you can change your life and manifest it to whatever you desire. Staying true, believing in yourself and your own vision, believing in God's plan that He has tailor-made for you and just for you, and just dealing with only the necessities you need in your life and trimming the fat. Trim the fat out of your life and all of the excess that you don't need, because it's just gonna hold you back and make it 10 times harder and longer to get to that end goal of you full-time doing your passion. Anyway though, that was great. Loved killing 20 minutes with you guys. I love doing inspirational videos. Like and comment and tell me if this was inspirational or gave you ideas or just motivated you to get up and do something. Between me and you in this video, I recently quit a second job that I just took up because I thought I needed more money. But I figured it out that I had to remind myself, and that was the whole reason I made this video, that my craft was not worth waiting another day or another month or another year. My craft, Ashley's craft, and your craft is literally worth right now all of your time and effort. Have a blessed day.